Am I the antagonist? My father filmed my friend drunk and posted it online. My father is a 60-year-old man with alcohol problems. He'll get home from work, kick his feet up on the couch, complain to my stay-at-home 61-year-old mother that no cleaning has been done. The food she has cooked is awful, and will tell her to go upstairs so he can watch TV in peace. My mother is very timid and rarely stands up for herself, but when I, at times, have confronted him on his behavior, he acts like a child, throws a tantrum, and will storm out of the house, to then return like nothing happened. Last week, we were invited to a family friend's wedding, and by extension so was my best friend. My friend, 23, is a very introverted person. He's shy, anxious, and doesn't really drink but still wanted to go. By 8 p.m., H is wasted. My mother and I are taking care of him, while my father is drunkenly making a fool of himself. He wasn't necessarily being rude, but making silly, inappropriate comments. For example, during the newlyweds dance, the groom placed his hand on his wife's buttocks, and my dad shouted out for him to stop fondling her butt. It was very embarrassing. Come 9 p.m., my mother and I decide it's time to head home because H and my father are wasted. My dad tells us we've ruined the night because we want to go home early. We get home and almost immediately H runs to the bathroom to throw up. Now, I am a massive AmITheA. I cannot stand being around people vomiting. It induces panic attacks. My father offered to stay with H in the bathroom until he felt better, which I thanked him for. But after 10 minutes I came to check on him and found my father filming H laying on the floor throwing up. I immediately got mad and asked him what he was doing, but all he did was laugh and said it was funny. I told him to FK off and proceeded to sit with H despite my fear while my mother cleaned up after him. The next day, H and I found out that not only had my father filmed him in such a vulnerable state and not helped, he also posted it to his Facebook. I called him a disgusting AE, and we all got into a massive argument. I have not spoken to him since. My mother agrees that what my father did was wrong but wants me to start talking to him again, because she can't bear it when the family is torn up like this. I will not until he apologizes to not only me and my mother, but to H especially, as he is rightfully beyond humiliated, and I too am embarrassed. In response to this situation, it's clear that your father's behavior is completely out of line. From belittling your mother at home to embarrassing and disrespecting both you and your best friend at the wedding, his actions are certainly not acceptable. Filming and sharing a video of someone in such a vulnerable state is not only inappropriate but also incredibly cruel. It's understandable that you are upset and refuse to speak to your father until he apologizes for his actions. Your mother may want to keep the peace, but it's important to prioritize your own well-being and stand up against such hurtful behavior. Hopefully, your father will realize the severity of his actions and take responsibility for them. In the meantime, continue to support your best friend and hold firm in your stance until he makes amends. Would I be the asshole if I didn't invite my stepdad's fiancée to my wedding? Hi Reddit, this may be a long post, but the details are important. For some background, I am a 27-year-old female who was raised by a single mom until I was 10. Then my mom met my stepfather, and they were together until I was 25 years old. My mom has always had the dream to get married, and she expressed this to my stepfather a lot at the beginning of their relationship. However, my stepfather claimed he wanted nothing to do with marriage as he didn't believe in it anymore due to his last marriage. This was hard for my mom to accept, but they moved forward. Unfortunately, around age 16, I started to notice their relationship hitting the rocks, and eventually they broke up. I later learned that my stepfather had cheated at some point in their relationship. It was tough, but we all got through it. 6 months after their breakup, I found out my stepfather was seeing someone else. Let's call her Sarah. I have never been close with her. I have only met her roughly 5 times, and there has been very little effort for me to get to know her more, despite me attempting to make plans and telling my stepfather that it is important to me to get to know his new partner. When I do interact with her, she's nice but kind of cold. They have been together for less than a year now, roughly 10 months. 2 weeks ago he told me that he proposed, and they are getting married. It was a tough pill to swallow for me because I find it a bit hypocritical. However, I congratulated him. Here lies the problem. My fiancé and I are getting married next year. We are having a micro-wedding and want our closest friends and family to attend, roughly 30 people. We both find that sometimes people get more excited about attending a wedding rather than about the people who are getting married. Therefore, we only want guests who know us both very well and are the people we see often. My partner and I both do not consider Sarah to fall under this category. I have also not told my mom that my stepfather is in a serious relationship and engaged. So to find this out and have her attend my wedding would be very heartbreaking to my mom. For these reasons, I don't want to invite Sarah, but I do want my stepfather there. This is where I think I could be the asshole. I know that people always want to bring their partners to these events, and I know Sarah may take this as me stating I don't like her. However, this isn't the case. I have no negative feelings toward her. In fact, I don't have any feelings toward her because I don't know her. So Reddit, would I be the asshole if I didn't invite my stepfather's fiancée to my wedding? Hi there Reddit. Your family dynamics sound like a soap opera plot in the making. It seems like you've dealt with quite the roller coaster of relationships and marriage drama. Now you're faced with the conundrum of whether or not to invite your stepfather's new leading lady, Sarah, to your intimate wedding shindig. It's crystal clear that you've got some mixed emotions about the situation. On one hand, you don't exactly have a buddy-buddy relationship with Sarah, and you're worried about how it might affect your mom. On the other hand, you still want your stepfather, the non-marrying man turned fiancé, to be a part of your big day. Here's the deal. It's your day, your rules. If having Sarah there doesn't sit well with you and your fiancé, then it's totally fine to leave her off the guest list. Think of it as your wedding's own little reality TV show, drama and all. Just make sure to explain your decision to your stepfather in a way that's both clear and kind. Maybe throw in a joke or two to lighten the mood, like you're delivering a punchline at a family roast. Ultimately, you're not the asshole for wanting your wedding to be filled with folks who truly know and care about you both. So go ahead and RSVP no thanks to Sarah, just try to do it with a smile. Good luck, and may your wedding day be drama-free, or at least sitcom levels of drama. Am I the antagonist for enforcing boundaries between my family and myself? I, 27 years old female, am at a loss right now, and it's going to be a long post. I am considered to be the eldest in my family. I have always tried to be a good daughter. I got good grades in school, kept my nose clean as much as possible, but due to my younger half-sister, 24 years old female, and her mental health issues, I often got looked over, with my mom telling me, "I raised you to be strong, so be the strong one." Looking back on my childhood, I've seen a lot of troubling things in my life that I did not see before, like my younger sister getting to be on sports team and multiple extracurricular activities, while I was told we did not have enough money to do so. Whenever my sister wanted to do something, my parents made it happen. Special birthday parties at bowling alleys, skating rinks with lots of friends. I was lucky to have a small party thrown by my family. The rare chance I did get to do something I enjoyed, like singing, my sister joined in and my parents acted like she was the next American Idol, while telling me, "Music isn't for you, you're tone deaf, so just sing to yourself." I also began working at 16, and my parents began asking me for financial support, to which I immediately supplied. My stepdad is a vicious functioning alcoholic and my mother enables him. He's sick, you don't understand what he went through as a child. He drinks on the job while he drives. He didn't even sit through my high school graduation because he didn't have a drink, but he sat through my younger sister's completely sober. His drinking has progressively gotten worse over the years to the point where he calls me ungrateful, and he even tried to pull my shirt off in a public parking lot because he didn't like what it said. I was 26. I have a very loving, supportive boyfriend who has a lovely family who treats me better than my own, and as a result, I have seen how poorly I was treated over the years. And my boyfriend is treated awful by my family because he's stealing me away. My parents are mad because I am calling less, visiting less, and just telling them less about my life. Recently, my mom and sister concocted an elaborate story regarding her being evicted because they thought it would be funny to see if I cared. Am I the asshole for wanting this distance from my family? Every time I try to tell them that they can't talk to me with disrespect or establish boundaries, I get verbally berated and told I'm letting down my family, even so far as being told I won't have a father to walk me down the aisle. Oh my goodness, what a roller coaster of emotions you've been on with your family. It sounds like you've been through a lot of unfair treatment and emotional manipulation. Your feelings of wanting distance from your family are completely valid given the circumstances. It's important to prioritize your own well-being and mental health, even if it means creating some space from toxic relationships. Your family's behavior towards you is unacceptable and you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Remember that you are not responsible for their actions or happiness, and it's okay to prioritize your own happiness and safety. Surround yourself with people who support and cherish you, like your loving boyfriend and his family. Your worth is not defined by how your family treats you, and you deserve to be in a healthy and loving environment. Take care of yourself and don't hesitate to seek support from friends, a therapist, or other resources. You are not the asshole for wanting to distance yourself from a harmful situation. Am I the antagonist for writing that I'm basically just waiting for my mother-in-law to pass? My husband Greg are 3 kids, and I live with his mother Marie. Greg is her youngest son, and in our culture it is tradition to have the youngest son live with his parents to take care of them as they age. I knew this while we were dating, and I knew this when we got married. Marie's health has been on a decline the past few years, and she requires a full-time caretaker. Due to this, I switched my shift at work so I can be with her during the day, and Greg could be with her at night. It's been like this for quite some time now. As a family, we cannot take vacations or even go somewhere overnight because we cannot leave Marie. We cannot have any sort of pets because Marie is afraid of all animals. We cannot move out of the small 2-bedroom house that she owns because she refuses to sell it. And lately, I have had major anxiety just being around her because she has become so hostile and negative about her condition. Nothing I do is right, and she will complain about everything from her pillow not being positions right or her food being too bland. She is on a low-sodium diet. I'm not saying I'm not willing to continue being her caretaker. I love Marie, and my relationship with her is usually pretty good. It's just been hard and I need a break. I keep a journal and wrote everything down. It helps me unwind and collect my thoughts. I wrote in there that I cannot wait until I get the freedom to work towards the life that I want. I cannot wait to have my dream home with my little family, get a dog or two, and go on the occasional vacations. Greg knows I have this journal. I don't know what caused him to do this, but he read it yesterday. To my knowledge, he has never read it before. He came out angry at me for basically writing that I cannot wait for his mother to pass so that I can be free. I got mad that he even read my journal, but tried to explain to him that that's not what I meant, but he said that no matter how I put it, I'm just waiting. I asked why he even read it, and he said that I've been acting so down lately, and he wanted to see what was going on to help, but didn't realize I hated his mother so much. I tried to tell him that I do not hate her, but I'm exhausted. He didn't listen to me and slept on the couch. I don't think he told Marie what I had written, but he hasn't talked to me since. I am still pretty upset that he read my private journal. Am I the asshole? I must say, this situation sounds like a challenging sitcom plot brought to life. Your current living arrangement is like a real-life version of the movie Everybody Loves Raymond, except the only one not loving the situation is you. It's great that you are fulfilling your cultural obligations of taking care of your mother-in-law, but it's also important to acknowledge the toll it's taking on you. It's understandable that being a full-time caregiver while juggling work and family responsibilities can be overwhelming. Your journal seems to be a healthy outlet for you to vent your frustrations and dreams for a different future. Unfortunately, your husband stumbling upon it has led to some awkward and tense moments. While Greg's intentions may have been to support you, invading your privacy by reading your journal is definitely not the way to go about it. It's clear that his discovery has caused some misinterpretation of your feelings. It's not about eagerly waiting for Marie's passing, but rather yearning for some freedom and a chance to pursue your own aspirations. In this scenario, I don't believe you are the asshole. Your feelings are valid, and it's essential for Greg to understand the strain you're under. This may be a turning point for open and honest communication about your needs and finding a solution that benefits everyone. At the very least, Greg owes you an apology and a conversation to clear the air. And remember, adding a little humor to tough situations can sometimes lighten the mood and lead to better understanding. Am I the antagonist for not using the term bonus mom for my stepmom because she likes it, and then agreeing with her stepniece that the term doesn't fit for us? I won't make this super long. My mother died when I was 5 years old, and my father remarried when I was 8 years old, and I met my stepmother when I was 7 years old. She loves me. I love her, but we don't see our relationship the same way. She sees me as her son but knows I don't like calling her my mom, so she'll say I'm her bonus son, and she calls herself my bonus mom. The term never worked for me because I don't think of her as one of my mothers. I think of her as my stepmom, and to me our relationship isn't the same as the one I would have with my mom. I don't really want that with her. I try not to get too annoyed by the whole bonus son mom thing because I don't want to be unkind to her. But I did express once or twice that I didn't really see the term being fitting for us. My stepmom's sister is also a stepmother, and she has a stepdaughter around my age, 15 years old me and 16 years old her. My stepmom's stepniece dislikes her stepmother, unlike me. She really resents that she wants to be close to her, and she'd rather have a distant relationship with my stepmom's sister. My stepmom's sister also uses bonus mom, bonus daughter. So last weekend we were at my stepmom's parents' house, and my stepmom's stepniece and I were hanging out, and she was venting about her stepmother and expressing how much she dislikes the term bonus mom. She said it made her want to puke. I admitted I didn't like it either, and I didn't think it fit my relationship with my stepmom either or how I saw her. She asked me why I don't make a bigger fuss about it, and I told her I'm trying not to hurt my stepmom's feelings, but that I dislike how it seems like I see her and accept her as a second mom basically when that's not what I think of her at all. My stepmom and her sister heard us talk, and my stepmom was really upset about it. She told me she knows she wasn't there since day one for me, but she loved me and I lost my mom when I was so little that she feels like I should be more okay with having a second mom. She said she never wanted to replace my mom and has always tried to help keep my mom's memory alive. She told me that alone should make her second mom, aka bonus mom material. She also told me she didn't know how much therapy I would need to make me open to that, and she wasn't even sure if I wanted to be open to letting her into that mom role, and she felt like I could be a lot kinder about all this when she has poured her heart and soul into raising and loving me. My dad told me not using the bonus mom title was bad enough, but to say it doesn't fit for me is so cruel when my stepmom has done everything to be a good mother to me. Am I the antagonist? Am I the antagonist? First of all, my condolences for losing your mom at such a young age. That must have been incredibly difficult. It sounds like you and your stepmom have a loving relationship, but just see things a bit differently in terms of labels. And hey, that's okay. Not everyone fits into the same boxes, especially when it comes to family dynamics. It's good that you've tried to communicate your feelings honestly, even if it caused some hurt. It's clear that your stepmom cares deeply for you and wants to be there for you in the best way she knows how, even if the bonus mom title doesn't quite sit right with you. It's tough navigating these kinds of emotions, especially when dealing with loss and trying to accept a new parental figure. Remember, it's okay to have your own feelings and boundaries about how you see your relationship with your stepmom. Ultimately, it's all about finding a balance that works for both of you. Communication is key. So maybe having an open and honest conversation with your stepmom about how you truly feel could help clear the air. Just know that it's okay to feel the way you do, and it doesn't make you a bad person for being honest about it. Am I the antagonist for giving my sibling crap for telling our relative that I'm expecting a baby? My 35-year-old male, wife, 31-year-old female, and I are expecting our first child in June. We found out in mid-October but didn't tell anyone until Christmas after tests came back clean. On Christmas Eve, both of our families were together and we were 12 weeks in, so we made the announcement. My mom asked if she could tell her friends, and I said she could tell anyone that I don't talk to or wasn't going to see soon. On Christmas Day there was another dinner with other relatives, but my brother, 29-year-old male, wasn't going to be able to make it to this dinner. We have an aunt in her 80s who isn't in great health who was going to be at dinner, and my brother decided to stop by on Christmas morning to say hi before he left town. He had partially overheard my response to my mom's question, and I guess didn't catch the context, so while he was there he broke the news that my wife and I were expecting. When I got to dinner I didn't tell everyone immediately since people were preparing food, and I figured I'd just wait until we were all sitting down together. My mom was talking with my aunt alone, and when I went to chat with them they let me know that my brother had already spilled the beans, but that nobody else knew yet. I said, "Oh okay," she said congrats, and we went about catching up. It wasn't a big deal. When we sat down to eat I told everyone else. The next day my brother and I were texting about how nice Christmas was, and I gave him some trouble by texting. Also our auntie was like the one person you needed to manage to not tell that we were expecting lol. I thought it was just some lighthearted banter because he was basically only going to be seeing one person that I was going to be seeing soon, and he managed to tell her in that time. He immediately called me and asked if he'd spoiled some surprise. I said it's typically the parents' news to break, but that it really wasn't a big deal and I was just giving him trouble. He said something like, "Well, what else was I supposed to talk about?" And I said, "Basically anything else." And I reminded him I'd been holding in the news for months. But I reiterated that it really wasn't a big deal and we ended the call. I texted him about other things over the following week but got no responses. It's now 3 months later and still nothing. No response to texts, to ultrasound pictures, or our baby shower invite. My dad says my brother told him I'm not getting a response until I apologize to him. He thinks I didn't appreciate he's just excited to be an uncle. I don't even know what I'd apologize for. I wasn't irritated, and I don't think I could have made that more clear when he called. And I obviously moved on immediately when I kept texting him about other stuff. I don't think I'm the I here, but I feel like I need a sense check because it's legitimately insane to me that I've been cut out of his life over this text while I'm going through the most exciting change of my life. Was my text mean? Did I not appreciate his excitement? Should I be apologizing? Congratulations on the upcoming arrival of your first child. It sounds like you and your wife have exciting times ahead. As for the situation with your brother, it seems like a classic case of miscommunication mixed with a dash of family dynamics. It's understandable that your brother may have been excited to share the news with your aunt, even if it wasn't his news to share. Your lighthearted banter about him spilling the beans was probably taken a bit more seriously than you intended. While you may have thought it was all in good fun, it's clear that he may have felt differently. It's a shame that he has chosen to cut off communication over what seems to be a misunderstanding. Perhaps reaching out to him directly, expressing that you value his excitement and didn't mean to upset him with your teasing, could help clear the air. Apologizing for any unintentional hurt feelings might be a good first step towards repairing your relationship. After all, family is family, and it would be a shame to let something like this come between you during such a joyous time. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.